What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world? Austin John Plays here, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening 100% Super Awesome Mega Playthrough, part number 7. This is the slime... I haven't walked in there yet. The slime dungeon? Slime temple? The Key Cavern! Great! I was close with the name. I used the slime key to unlock it, alright? So, to the right is a room that we're actually going to be revisiting at the very end. So I'm just going to mark that down. As opposed to the last dungeon, that one's, I believe that's mandatory. At the entrance, I got a bunch of bombs. Now, when going in here, it's good to either have a lot of bombs, like more than 10. If you grinded for the rupees and you could afford the bow and arrow, then definitely the bow and arrow is a nice choice right now. Because we're going to encounter a new enemy that's, inconvenient to say the least. And then there's also a mini boss that specifically requires bombs, which you could just walk out of here and zone back in and just farm yourself some bombs and get up to 20. Just kidding, I thought 20 was max bombs, turns out it's 30. Just like that magic powder. Early game you're not gonna have a lot, late game it's gonna be full, and also upgraded. Our first room here, we need to kill everything. That worked out way better than I planned. So these bombs, when you hit them, they start to ricochet, and if they hit an enemy, they die. And if they hit you, they die also, and they hurt you. So your best bet is to knock it into another enemy, and then avoid it. And that's gonna get us a key. Now, if you notice, there's a left path. We're not gonna be able to do that for quite some time. This has 4 slimes, defeat them, and all the doors open up. And we get ourselves a chest. I believe this is just a rupee. Nope, it's a slime. Just equally as useless. To the right, we cannot go there yet because we need to hit the switch. These guys, we actually don't need to defeat them right now. We need to defeat them later. And that's, I'll explain that in a bit. This temple has a lot of keys and this 4-way room that requires keys in every direction. And you're actually gonna finish this temple with extra keys, 1 extra key, and it's not used for anything. I think they just wanted to really dive in home that, hey, this is the Key Cavern. Almost all of these doors are completely optional, just for the sake of completely filling out the map and getting every chest. We're gonna go through all of them. And the left one is the hardest, because the left one has a new enemy. So these parrots, whenever you get close to them, they teleport away. And there's a few ways to defeat them. One is to run near it and assume where it's going to teleport to and hope that you get there in time. Like that. And that's sort of like the broke way of doing it. Number 2 is to use a projectile, like a bow and arrow, or other items that you get at the end of the game that are projectiles. And option number 3, which is the easiest, throw a bomb at it. And then, throw a bomb at it. It's gonna die. And also, once you kill the slime at the left side of the room, right here, that key is gonna fall from the ceiling. If you don't get it, don't worry, you can just zone out of the room. And as soon as you zone back in, it's gonna fall down again, giving you plenty of time to obtain it. Next, let's head down. You can really do these in any order. I am not picking a specific one. So again, we have a parrot, a slime, and a skull boy. And we need to defeat all the enemies. Oh, there's another slime. Nice, I got them both. I'm gonna pay attention to the way that the floor is moving. Great. And the key is gonna fall from the ceiling again. If you don't get it, that's no problem. This one actually just goes in a square like this. So there's no real reason to worry until it gets to like there, but again, you could zone out, zone back in, you're just fine. Next up, let's go up. Here we have a tracking skeleton and Spear Boy. I don't know, he died too fast. Kill them both, get yourself a key. Here's an owl statue that we don't really need because you have me. And you're just gonna hit this 1 time so that it's yellow, and we're gonna leave. And now we're gonna get the last door on the right. And we're just gonna follow this path. You don't really need to kill the parrot, because it's not gonna really bother you. This room, kill all the slimes, and then the left blue tile is going to get a key dropped on it. I like to try to stand in the block that it's gonna drop on. Head north. And we enter a much larger room. Now this room is actually gonna lead to a bunch of areas. For reasons you'll understand later, place a bomb right there. Hey look, we got a hole in the wall. That's going to lead us to one of the last areas that we need to go to once we obtain the key from this dungeon, the new item from this dungeon. Now, back in this main room, you need 4 keys to progress into the final dungeon area. And right now we're just going to kill all of these guys. Don't let them hop on you because they slow you down and it's annoying. Head down here, and we need to kill all the enemies in this room. This is the reason I said to bring lots of bombs. And once you defeat all the enemies in the room, a key is going to drop down onto the blue tile. Collect it, and we're going to head north. Now I think this is our first time experiencing this door. This is a one-way door, and it appears on the map as an arrow going into the direction that you go through it. So if it goes down from up, the arrow will appear up, and you just walk up to it, and you put your back up against it, and it's like one of those bookcases in a movie that reveals a hidden area. I got a piece of power, perfect timing. That's gonna drop a rupee on the right. I think that's a big rupee. I think that's 300. I'm not too sure. Head north. This room gives you 10 bombs, which if you're low on bombs and you didn't farm before you went in, it's a good time to. I don't think killing all these enemies does anything. We're gonna head up the staircase over here. Let's head to the right real quick, and you're gonna see this room here that has these 3 bombs, that bombable wall, and if we go to the right, you'll see there's no bomb marks on that side of the wall. Only that side of the wall. And the whole point of coming up here is witnessing that there's none on this side and there is on that side. Actually, can I throw this over? I totally can throw this over. Sweet. Great. That broke the hole for us. Let's head back to the left and then down. Let's collect this chest, which I believe is a big rupee. Nope, 50 rupees. I might be thinking of something else then. And following this all the way through, we come back to where all these slimes were. Now, up through this door is the mini-boss of this area, which is, I believe these are called Dodongo snakes. And if you know how to fight a Dodongo, it's the same way. Except these will always move 1 block, and the block is determined based on their movements that are pre-programmed. And essentially what you want to do is just either lay down or throw down a bomb right in front of them. However, you'll see he just shook his head no. That's because they need to go 3 blocks before they're hungry again. So now this one is hungry. I can throw that there. They have like a pre-programmed movement, also mixed with tracking. Sometimes if you throw it and they're not hungry, they'll actually just dodge it, and they'll go into a different direction. I'm not doing a very good job explaining while playing. And as soon as they die, they drop fairies, which is nice, and I already have a fairy in my inventory. So now that it's just 1, we can actually focus on it a little bit better. 2. That was its 3rd movement, which means that now it's hungry. See how it shook its head no and then immediately just ate it? That's what I'm talking about. Great, that gives us a fast travel point to the entrance, which if we were low on bombs, we could go there. But let's go to the right for a new item. It's my birthday. It's not actually my birthday. It's Link's birthday. It's Link's birthday. And this is going to be the Pegasus boots. The Pegasus boots allow us to dash, and you can combine that with the jump ability. It also lets us pop those tents. I should probably have explained that before I did it. So now we're in a big open area. If you hold down L, either L or LZ, you can run very quickly in a direction. While you're running in that direction, you're locked to that direction, and you can move up a little bit or down a little bit. But if you try to move too much, you'll just stop and then turn directions. Also, if you let go, you still keep running. So like now I'm holding L, I'm not touching anything, and you just run to the other side. If you press and hold L, and then you push the opposite direction, you have that little stopping time and animation. So like if I go to do it before the wall, sometimes you'll make it in time, sometimes you won't. However, to immediately cancel, swing your sword. And you can do that literally right before a wall. And you won't actually run into the wall. Because if you run into the wall, you're at the point that you're not going much faster than if you were to just run through an area. Anyways, remember that up path that I told you? We're going to do that up path now. And in the next room, we're going to experience bombs, but they're slightly different from the bombs we've experienced before. These ones with green feet actually do a countdown. So if I hit it, it'll count down 3, 2, 1, and then blow up. However, if you attack it with a bomb, or if you attack it and then explode a bomb next to it, it disappeared and didn't do the countdown. So I'm assuming that worked. Great. Next room, we have the one stabby boy. And a chest. With the compass. Feel like we've done the entire dungeon and we're just getting the compass now. And the last room has these bombs right here. Now, of course, you could just use your shield and deflect it. But when you deflect it, it doesn't count down to it exploding. That should explode them. And they drop bombs. Perfect. Look, I used one bomb, I got 2 bombs. 1 bomb, 2 bomb. New bomb? Lip bomb. And a fairy. Fantastic. There are 2 chests now left to get. That's one of them. Which we could actually just grab that super fast. As I briefly mentioned before, you can combine the Pegasus boots and the Rock's Feather to clear large chasms 3 blocks wide. Now, on a lucky day, you can clear 4 if you're really lucky, but that's not always guaranteed. Let's head up here. You only need a very small amount of room, like 1 block. If I go to the bottom of this block and then do my L, I could hop across no problem. And that's our nightmare key. Fantastic. Now we need to backtrack to the entrance. I think for the first time ever, we're going to be using the mini boss warp point. Now we're going to go to the right, and before we even start to head in there, I'm going to hold down L. And what that's going to do, as soon as I spawn in, I'm going to start running at that thing, which pushes you away, and it'll even push you out of the screen. The hard part is that if you're not standing directly in the middle, you kind of need to guide Link a little bit, because he's going to be pushed off of the top or the bottom. Great. Got the chest. It has the 4th key that we needed. Now, remember this room? And I told you before that we needed to go up this small path much later. Well, now it's much later. We're gonna pop through, and we're gonna kill this one little slime right there. And then we're gonna backtrack 2 screens. And then head up again, defeat these guys, and up 1 more screen. And now, these 2 skeletons, we're gonna defeat them, and that's gonna spawn the chest on the right. And I believe this is the big rupee. I remember there's a big rupee in here. Are you my big rupee? Yeah, you are. 300! That hopefully puts you at or close to or over 1,000 rupees, which now means that as soon as we're done, we can go back and buy the bow and arrow. Remember that one switch that we hit to yellow? This is why. Oh, he walked away instead. Can I aggro you? We got the dungeon map! Hooray! Okay, forget. Oh, now you want to fight. Okay. There you go. Bye. Great, now there's only 1 chest left. We're gonna head up 2 screens, and with that switch still activated, we can now come grab this chest that we couldn't grab before. And that's gonna be the stone beak. Now, all that's left to do is head downstairs, back to the right. I should have probably mentioned that. Now that we have the Pegasus shoes, we can kill those birds if it's on a direct path. That's gonna be coming up very, very momentarily. Great, now that we have unlocked every single chest in the entire dungeon, we have the map, the compass, and the beak. Now it's time to unlock all 4 of these doors. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a thwomp. Sorta. You hit him by doing the Pegasus boots, and then he falls. And in order to cross this chasm, you need to use your Pegasus shoes and Rock's Feather, and you could clear it. And that's Piranha Plant. We killed it. Good job, you. I actually really like this room. Hold down L, let go. Tap down, hold down L, let go. You need to walk down, hold down L. Done. I just love how that's a thing. If you need the hearts, break that tent piece, and then you could get them. And in our last room, which is just a bunch of bats, this room, we get a key. Which we obviously don't need, because there's the boss room, and here's the boss key. So, I just think it's funny that you end it with an extra key. Anyways, here we are in the final room with the easiest boss in the entire game. He says, "Neener, neener, you can't find me." Hit the wall. And he falls down. And here's the big slime. His name is the Slime Eye, because he's a slime with an eye. Wow, really creative naming. You just want to attack the eye 4 times, and then it's going to be super split, and you need to do that. Great. Now just hit an eye. 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and it dies. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he hopped up. That's his 1 attack. 4. That's it. I know. I know. Aren't you glad the hero of time and space and sealing Bane's darkness is able to beat that big old piece of jello? But we got a heart container. Good job, Link. You're now taking over the job of Bill Cosby. And here we go. It's the bell. The Sea Lily's bell. It sounds like a door chime, like a doorbell for like a really sophisticated automated doorbell. Again, super bright white light, and it says waterfall. Don't go chasing waterfalls. It is hidden in the waterfall. You go now, Link. I should really stop singing. And we're back here on the prairie, and we immediately get brought into a conversation with the owl. I didn't even touch anything. Hi there, Mr. Owl. How many instruments have you gotten so far? When you play the instruments in front of the egg, the windfish will wake and leave this island. Now go to the desert. Well, fantastic, guys. That's going to be wrapping up this part of the walkthrough for Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch. We got ourselves the Sea Lily's Bell. Also, up until this point, we have 13 pieces of heart, 21 secret seashells found. If you don't have those, I recommend going back in the previous episodes, which should be popping up on screen right about now, as well as the next episode when it's out. And to the left is, I don't know what's going to be over there. Something's over there. All right, great. Till next time, Austin John out.